And we're back with another episode of Let Me Be Frank. And this one, ever since the whole concept of the podcast was born, Frank's been saying, there's one person I want to get on this because he's just, my biggest hero in acting, biggest pal, a West Ham super fan. And I mean, I could start to give you his acting credits, but it'd be here all night. But it's the one and only Ray Winstone. Ray, absolutely brilliant to have you on. How are you?
I'm very well. As I was telling Frank earlier on, I've just been stuck by a wasp. And I was sitting out in the garden and my grandchildren had just turned up, and I was a bit excited about seeing him, and I stuck my arm on the chair and I got stung by a fucking wasp. It done me. And now I'm itching. I know I had to come in here, but I'm itching all over. So they see me scratching a little bit.
Oh, that's all right.
Wasp. I've had an antihistamine.
That's what you get for trying to suck out the sting.
I know. You get nicked for that, Fred.
Yeah, you get I get nicked for a few things, Ray.
Frank was saying it's not the first time you've been stung. I don't know if I'm sure, but usually it'll be Frank stinging you in the wallet.
It's been good. We were just talking off air there about West Ham, so it's we're both concerned about the way it's going. But as you're right, it's a business now, isn't it? It's all a big business.
Yeah, I mean, we went. It drives me mad, we're every year, at Christmas time and summertime, about who we're going to buy. And I don't even look at it anymore, Frank. No. Because they're not going to pay the money.
No.
They're running a business. It's a business. Football. Forget about when we were younger. Forget about it being a working class kind of game. It ain't no more, especially British clubs. It's about business.
Yeah.
And so I just stay away from it. I watch the games when they're on. I go to the games when I'm home, and I enjoy them. When we're playing well.
Yeah. You still get.
I don't need too much from us. Last year, I mean, what David Moyes done was quite amazing. I think. And I've moaned about Moyes sometimes, his tactics and all that kind of stuff. I think tactically at times he got it totally wrong. But then again, I'm the man sitting sitting in the stadium and watching on the TV, and what do I know? If I knew anything, I'd be a manager, So I like to enjoy it. I'm 67 years of age. I've come through West Ham. I don't know what would happen if we became a really successful club and won a Premiership, won a European Cup. And which we did last year, by the way. But if we won, the proper European Cup, what that would do to me? Would I turn into an Arsenal fan? Among just lose on Saturday. I don't want that.
That would never happen.
Being a West Ham fan's been an optimist.
Yeah.
It's about next year.
Yeah.
Next year, and I kind of love that. That's part of the makeup that I am, tomorrow's another day.
But that's interesting, you saying you're 67, which I'm amazed to hear, by the way, I have to say. But if you were back living in London and you were going to West Ham every weekend, you'd be one of the people now affected by this. That's what's causing the protests. They've cancelled the concessions.
It's disabled more than anything for me.
So you can still...
The thing there, though, is I'm a lucky boy, I can afford to go to a football match today if I choose to go. That wasn't always the case.
Yeah.
There's people today, real football fans who can't do it anymore. I mean, it's hard enough to go on your own and pay for yourself a ticket. What is it now? A ticket? Was it 100 quid, 125 quid?
Take your family.
Something ridiculous. And if you've got two kids, how do you do that? How do you actually manage to take your kid every week in, week out? If you're just an ordinary working man, you can't do it,
No. Yeah, so it's not, it's the idea of it being a working class sport, it's not anymore, is it?
But down there, I done one of the tours, Ray. They asked me to do one of the tours. And I was down there, and I couldn't believe it. They're saying, we'll let the customers in. I'm saying, who's the customers? The fans. And I'm saying, the fans. They're calling them customers. Cam Brady says you've got to call them customers, and I'm thinking, wow, it's just all changed. Everything you say, it's a business, and it's not the street, it's not the punters club anymore. You just got to get used to it, I suppose, but it's not right.
No, it ain't right. Them days are over, I'm afraid. I mean, if you think about it, the amount of money that's pumped into football from Sky Sports and all the major clubs all over the world. You have to say to yourself, well, why is it so expensive Why is it so expensive for a fan to go along to a stadium when it's kind of paid for by TV?
Mm-hmm. Well,
you know, there's no excuse for it. It's I know. Listen, if I was a businessman and I own a company, then I'd understand it a little more. I'd want out of it what I could get out of it, because it ain't easy running a business. But at the same time, it's paid for.
Yeah,
you know, it's already paid for. This is just bunts. Yeah. So why can't we afford? You know, the normal man in the street. Why can't he afford to go and watch a football match? You know? Be a proper fan, not a customer.
Yeah. It's all gone mad now. The money's gone mad. I was saying that they should go out and buy Ivan Toney. That would be the one person I wanted to sign. 50 million it'd cost, and I'm saying, but it would be the best thing that ever happened to West Ham since me and Tony. Absolutely right. I think anyway.
I mean, do you ever think, you know, I mean, it's different times, you know, and, you know, you'd be out on a Friday night before you play on a Saturday, but you still play, you're natural.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, that's what you told me, which I shall probably repeat in a minute, we'll get nicked. But that's beside the point. But, you know, the fact of the matter is, do you ever think about today, if you was playing today, the way you'd be probably looked after and the things you wouldn't be able to do, what sort of player you would be? I mean, you was an absolute natural.
Yeah.
And they're crying out centre forwards all over the world today. You'd be earning an absolute fortune.
Yeah.
You know, but the one thing that's different, Frank, is that you wanted to play football.
Yeah.
You actually love playing football, you know.
I don't think a lot of these players like the game. I just think they like the money.
Aye, but you'd have to learn how to play.
That's the culture, isn't it? That's the way it's brought up. I like to think that's not the case with a lot of them, but, you know, that's probably me being romantic about it. Or, you're probably right. You know, it's about the big cars, the bird on the arm, which you had both, by the way. But you know, that's the kind of world we live in today.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So I want to ask you, Ray, about this man and your recollections, because you still have a real affection for Frank. You wrote the foreword in his book. He himself and Tony Cottee and the boys of '86 gave West Ham fans, probably for a lot of guys of your age, the best season ever. Can you? And I ask this question a lot, but can you remember the first time he appeared on your radar and what you thought about?
Oh, I can tell you what he's going to say.
We was in the pub in Stratford Market, weren't we? Right.
Yeah. It was good.
Yeah.
That was the first time.
We met in the pub in Stratford Market back in the 80s. Probably, what was it? Been about 84, something like that?
86, 87, wasn't it? 86. 87. Well,
I remember you telling me a story when we got to know one another a bit more.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, with had some laughs. But I remember you telling me a story. You won Goal of the Month one year. Now I've probably elaborated on this story over the years when I've told other people it, but it's a great story. I think he was playing Leicester City, right? and you got Goal of the Month. You won Goal of the Month.
Yeah.
And you. It's a fabulous goal. He's running towards the goal and it comes over and he heads it into the top far corner. And what he told me was he was so pissed on the pitch, he just ran and someone crossed the ball and he hit him on the head. He never hit him on the head. He went in the far corner. And I think you got goal on the month.
Actually, the truth is, I was out the night before, but
I don't believe that for him.
No, but I'm going to be honest with you. I got told that I wasn't playing the following day because there was something wrong and I was a wee bit injured. So I got out and enjoyed myself on the Friday, as you do. And then something happened to the other striker and I had to play and I was like, I can't say it. Well, I'm pissed. But I was, you know, I got about 4 or 5 hours sleep, so I was all right.
Oh, that's all right.
For an athlete like myself, I'm all right.
Well, listen, thank God the other side were all pissed as well.
I know.
I'm sure
that was the night that one of his favourite party tricks is he kicks everyone out behind the bar and he goes out behind, he's still making the margaritas. He's still doing the margaritas. It was, they were wonderful. Getting the bar staff out, get out. And he has to do it all himself.
But you were a trailblazer. I'm sure in fact, I read in Cristiano Ronaldo's book that his best preparation for a big match was to go out the night before and get steaming. And just get 4 hours sleep. They said they never ever let him down.
It was only the once.
You know what? I guess there's naturals. There's people that are naturals. There's other players who have to work at it, and all power to them. But there are certain footballers out there, and I put Frank as one of them. Ones I watched anyway, who was a complete natural. Yeah. Who just knew where to be on the pitch, whether he was steaming or he was sober, it didn't matter. He knew where to be on the pitch. And for a goal scorer, for a centre forward, probably the greatest asset you could probably have. Yeah. You learned a lot from me as well playing in charity games.
I did. I was playing up front. I was playing up front at a charity game with Ray, and he's going, "Now listen, son, just stay out my way." I'm like, okay, it's not about you, it's not about me today.
Did you do all Frank's running for him?
Yeah, I did. You just keep giving me the ball, he says. That was a good advice.
Do you know what? That was his movement. The movement. We'd all be running about like endless chickens, like trying to find where the ball was going to go next. But he just had a natural ability. He knew where to move and when to go. It was actually it was a pleasure to watch him sometimes. Yeah. I mean, because he was little for a centre forward. And when you think about some of the great centre forwards we've had over there, like the Clyde Bests, the Jeff Hurst, and all that, they're big lumps for the time. They were big lumps, not like they are today, but they were big lumps. So, and Frankie weren't built that way. You was built more like number 10, weren't you, or an 8?
It was one of them, but I was a big man out of the two of us, wasn't it? We Tony, there was no point asking him.
Well, anyone looked big against Tony, get that? He is fancy.
Yeah, there's no point asking him to go up and batter a centre half. He's not going to do it, is he?
I mean, we're not here just to blow smoke up your backside. No. I know it's called the Let Me Be Frank podcast, but what I do want to say is, if I asked someone once, and I think it was Willie Hockey, actually, big friend of yours, big Celtic supporter, to sum you up, and he talked about a game at Pittodrie in the centenary season, where 1 minute you were clearing the ball off the Celtic line, and 40 seconds later you were sticking it in the Aberdeen net, and he said that was it. Frank was just everywhere in the pitch, Yeah, is that what you remember as well, Ray? With West?
Yeah, absolutely. Do you know what we sold him? And it was probably the worst day for a West Ham fan when we sold Frank. And for whatever reason it was, probably Frank will tell you later. But and he went back to Celtic to play. And we lost the first game after he left. We lost 4-0. And Celtic won 4-0 when he scored all 4 goals.
Yeah.
That's what we lost.
Yeah.
Why on earth did we sell you, Frank?
I know. Did you have to go to my club? That was it's like you with West Ham. I was like that with Celtic, so that was my club.
Yeah, I know. Yes, of course.
I came up here and I thought I was going to be here forever, but I ended up coming back to the Happy Hammers and old John Lyle. It was wonderful to get me back, but it was. John gets sacked, as we know, and it went downhill after that with Mr. Macari and. Don't I know? I had him twice. I had him at West Ham as well. I had him at West Ham, then Celtic. My God!
And no Swindon, no.
No, he wasn't there at Swindon. No, he wasn't at Swindon. I went. David Hay was there, but I just had to get away from Lou. He wanted me out of the club. So it was horrible. It was horrible.
Yeah, he wasn't very approachable, was he, Lou?
No,
he's a funny guy. I mean, I didn't know him that well, but we played a charity match against him, and we're just a bunch of actors playing in a charity match, and he took it very, very seriously.
Yeah,
very seriously indeed.
He dropped me Wardy once at 10:02 in the afternoon. Says you're not playing, and Wardy's freaking out. Mark Ward. And
I think I know this story. I'll just let the lawyers listen to this one before you carry on. He said to Mark, he says, calm down, son. He says, here, and he gave him an envelope. He says, go and put a bet on for me. I can't get across the street to the bookies, on the whole Green Street. And he's going, Wardy saying, you can imagine what the Scouser was saying to him, little Wardy. Yeah. Fucking bet. Anyway, look, Dev took a bet. That day. And of course, we all said we'd cover it. And
of course, the horse fell. So we were out that night where it was a private party. And so it was about 500 quid or something. We put that in the kitty because Macari didn't know he never put the bet on. It was brilliant. We took his money off him.
Well, he knows now.
He knows now. Nice to see you.
Hope you're enjoying it, Lou. I'm a big fan, by the way.
Right.
So, Ray, before I go on to talk about your boxing career as a youngster, which I was amazed to read about, do you play a bit of football as well in the days? You mentioned a few charity matches. I also saw that you played against Bobby Moore at Wembley.
Yeah, probably one of the highlights of my sporting career. It was in the Tottenham Coventry final just before they had a game. You know, Alan Mullery and
1987.
Daley Thompson played. I think he was in it, and I was on the opposite side of Bobby Moore. And who's got Bobby got? You know, playing against probably a hero. I mean, where I come from the East End, you know, we grew up talking about gangsters. You know.
Yeah.
And then this new man came on, this Bobby Moore, captain of England, who was an absolute gent, became our new kind of hero. Mm-hmm. You know, it changed everything for kids like me growing up. You know, there was something else out there. Mm-hmm. You know, there's Bobby Moore. And I kind of met him a couple of times before as a young man, you know. And anyway, we kicked off. I thought, I'll have a go at Bobby. You know, I took the ball from the centre of it. And instead of passing it, I dropped the shoulder, went round Bobby, and headed towards the goal at Wembley, you know. And I went on for about, must have been 30, 40 yards before I realised I didn't have the ball. He nicked it off me as I've gone past, you know. Yeah. But in the same game, you know, Mick Shannon was playing on our side, and Mick Shannon was playing at the back, and he got the ball, and I'd gone over to the right-hand side, and Bobby was on the left. So he was there, he was marking me again. And he just, unusual for a pro as well, played a lot of charity matches with pros, and they're competitive, you know. You know, they don't take liberties, but they want to play well. They don't want you to make them look a mug or anything, you know. And Bobby just stood still, he went to me, have a run. Mm-hmm. And I had a run, and he stepped forward, and Shannon hit the ball over the top of him. And I went down the wing, crossed it, and Daley Thompson scored. And that's Bobby Moore.
Yeah.
Wow. He didn't have to do that. He wanted to make a kid feel good.
Yeah. Give you something to
There's very few people that you're going to meet in life that, especially, you know, greats like him who are capable of doing that, actually. You know?
Yeah, well, I had a couple of nights out with Bobby before he died, God rest him. And I was one of the things that I stole off him. I do, when I sign an autograph or something, I always sign "Be Lucky."
Ah, yeah.
Right? And that's from Bobby Moore. Bobby used to say, because everyone signs best wishes or good luck and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And I thought, well, that's good. And then when Bobby died, I says, I'm having that. So that's me. So I took it off the great Bobby Moore. So yeah, Stephanie was laughing. She thought it was wonderful.
You know, the last time I see him, Frank, it was England were playing San Marino, I think it was at Wembley, in a group stage game, and I was in the Hilton Hotel there before the game, and Bobby was doing radio.
All right,
you know that job. I mean, his job was commentating on the radio of all things. You know, unbelievable when you think about it. A man of his knowledge and that. Anyway, and he was walking towards me, and. He said, hello, Raymond, and we had a little chat with him. He looked terribly ill, you know, at the time. It wasn't long before, you know, he passed away. And you know, just gave time. Must have stood there for 10, 15 minutes just having a chat. And I was a young fella, you know, and just little things like that you learn, and you hopefully take them with you.
Yeah,
and the way he treated people, you try to treat people the same way, you know. So, you know, it was a great influence on me. And a lot of people like me, I think, as well, you know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course they do. It doesn't cost nothing to be nice, Ray.
No, completely. It
doesn't cost you anything to be nice, so that's the best way to be it.
So boxing, you fought for England as a 12-year-old, is that correct?
Yeah, a couple of times, I did, against Wales, Yeah. A kid called Gary Ace, and the other kid was called Lee. Yeah. Boxed against Wales, and tough boys, the Welsh, you know?
Yeah.
You know? like in a lump of coal, you know.
Does that mean you get beat?
I lost the first one, yeah, and I won the second one. They were both close fights, you know.
Yeah.
Both close fights. But
how did the boxing come about then, Ray? Was it were you having to use your fists in the playground or what?
No, I think everywhere, you know, from where I came from, you know, that's what you done. You boxed, you know. You played football, but boxing was, you know, my dad boxed, my grandfather boxed, my uncles boxed, so it was kind of the thing you done, you know. As they do in Liverpool, as they do in Manchester, in Glasgow, Edinburgh, you know, from certain areas you fight. I suppose you learn to box because you have to look after yourself in the street. It's kind of changed today. It's a little bit different. You just don't put anything in one area, but that was kind of the case when I was growing up. Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't hear of that many people from the East End, you know, boxers and so on, and then going on to stage school like yourself. It's quite a kind of transformation. Did that kind of, you know, raise some eyebrows among your family and friends?
Yeah, but not so much in family, but, you know, it does around, because, you know, people think it's a bit of a joke, you know. And, you know, and in them days, it was quite kind of frowned on a little bit, you know, he must be a funny boy or something, you know. You know, I guess you get all that, you know, because it just wasn't the thing we'd done, you know.
Yeah.
But at the time, you know, I was pretty lucky because I was making films back in the 50s and the 60s of, you know, look back in Angers, Burton coming through, Anthony Hopkins and, you know, Albert Finney and all these kind of, you know, Richard Harris. And so they were making films about working class people, you know, so with working class people in them, not the old chaps anymore. Hello, chaps, how are you? It was a bit more... they were making them writing stuff about people from where we come from, you know? And so I came along probably at the right time. I was pretty lucky there, you know, because today, if I'd have probably gone into business today, I don't know, I'm not too sure it would have probably got a job. You know, there wasn't many people around doing what I was doing or like me, you know. Yeah.
Interesting thing as well that I read today, that the part you got in Scum was originally written for a Glaswegian.
I was led to believe that, Alan Clark told me that after. It was written for, but I wasn't even supposed to be there, but I went in, last one in, and talked to Alan Clark, not really about the part, we just had a chat, you know, and I actually got the part on the way I walked down the corridor, because I was the last one in, he saw me out. And I had this kind of fighter's walk, you know. And so I got the job on the way I walked. Nothing to do with acting, really. Just the way I walked.
What a part that was as well, Ray. That was it, wasn't it? Took off for there.
Yeah. But that kind of started it all off.
The first thing I remember watching you on was the TV series Fox. With Peter Vaughan. In fact, you don't play a boxer in that. Am I completely?
Yeah, I was the young son. Yeah, I played
Kenny.
Boxer.
Yeah.
Kenny Fox.
That's right. With the great Larry Lamb and quite a cast in that as well. I mean,
Larry Lamb, Derek O'Connor, Peter Vaughan played Dad, Liz Spriggs was Mum.
Harry Crouch.
Ian Boland. They were a great bunch of people as well, you know. And that was quite an education. Really, Jim Goddard directed that. I'm surprised I remember it. At my age, I can't believe I'm actually remembering it. I must be all right. But so it was, that was a real learning curve for me to actually do a series as well, you know. Not just a one-off film or a one-off play, it was doing a series and knowing how to take that story through, you know. So I learned a lot on that.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy doing the series, or is it films you prefer?
I prefer films. I like to do it, get it done, go home.
Yeah.
I mean that in the nicest possible way, you know. Doing a play, depending on how long the play is, but you get to a certain point in the play and then I'm a little bit was a little bit undisciplined, because I get to a stage where I think, I've got this now, I know it, and I start changing it, I'll do it a different way. And you can't do that with a play because you've got other people to think about and to worry about. So, but in the early days, I used to do that a lot. I used to walk a different way and, keep people on their toes and all that. And they don't like you for it, they don't thank you for it. So, you have to learn, you have to be very disciplined. It's kind of like, I guess, what football is today. It's it's much more a disciplined sport.
Yeah.
You know, you can tell that the way they play, the way they knock the ball about, Frank. You know, everyone's terrified to actually take a ball on, you know, take a defender on.
Terrified you're losing it.
You're going to lose it, you know. The great players do, but, you know, it's like the ball goes down the right and knock it back and knock it across. You can actually, I can tell you where the ball's going next. Now, great football years ago, you didn't know where the ball was going to go next, you know, because players were brave enough and allowed. You know, today I sit there seeing the coach on the side of the pitch screaming at the players. Yeah. Yes, you've done that in training. You've coached in training. Let the players actually go and, I don't know, show what they can do. You know, be themselves. I saw, you know, for me, Joey Cole was one of the best players I'd seen come out of West Ham.
Yeah.
And to me, Mourinho absolutely ruined him. He changed his game.
Yeah.
Why would you change a player's game when he's that good? You know?
Well, it's one of them.
It's like changing Gascoigne's game, isn't it? You know, Gascoigne.
You couldn't, but you couldn't
the way he played, you know, someone getting him and saying, no, I want you back here and I want you to go, fuck off, are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you some sort of clown? And I watch this now and you know, I'm not a connoisseur of football, but I'm a connoisseur in a way that I've watched football all my life.
Yeah.
And, you know, and it sometimes bores the life out.
Yeah. I'm in the same boat as you, Ray.
You know, I see everyone's trying to play like Man City without the players at Man City. You know, and you go, why are you trying to do that? Yeah. You got teams that are sitting back, knocking the ball about the back. No one making a run because they're terrified of making a run in case they leave themselves open. That's what you've got defenders for. That means they're to defend. You attack. And I think the first team that actually come out of the Premiership and start doing that, they're going to start winning things because they won't know how to play against it.
What's happened to them?
Well, I've had my rent.
Yeah, so we can start the podcast now.
Yeah. Does the same apply to acting? Do you get away with it now? Actually, just doing your own thing.
I've done it myself, you know.
Yeah.
The hardest thing in the world is to try and make a bad script work.
Yeah.
You know. And sometimes you do jobs because you've got to pay the rent. And, you know, don't cry for me. That's what we do.
Yeah.
You know, and you find yourself walking through it, you know. And then when you finish, you don't feel very good about yourself. You know, you think, I could have done better than that. You know, I should have done better than that. And I was too busy having a party instead of concentrating on the work. But I think in a way it's all part of growing up. I think the difference in my game, Frank, is I'm still working at 67. I think in the sport of football and boxing, by the time you're 35, it's over. You know, it's getting over. And you're still a young man when you're playing sport. You've still got all the things that can drag you away from that and send you down a road that's probably stopping you from actually finding your potential.
Well, that's
and I think that happens to a lot of young players, a lot of young, you know, men and women who play football now, you know, and because they're kids, and it depends who's looking after them. It depends who's in their ear, you know.
Of course.
So, Ray, you worked with the biggest and the best. I mean, you're looking at the list: Spielberg, Harrison Ford, Scorsese, Jack Nicholson, Kingsley, DiCaprio. Do they ever get starstruck when they meet you?
No, I don't know. It's something you'd have to ask him. Probably.
but on a serious note, I mean, do you ever kind of sometimes, you know, you're in a studio or whatever with some of these names and never pinch yourself? Exactly that.
Yeah, you do. It's funny because I suppose you never kind of really get over it, but and then you realise that actually he's just a kid like me, you know.
Yeah.
You know, DiCaprio's probably one of the nicest boys you'll ever meet in life. He's a good kid, you know.
I heard that.
He's a good kid, and he's a big kid. He's probably, if I say a foot taller than me, I'm 5'10".
Yeah.
I'm actually 5'9" now. I've shrunk an inch, but he's probably a foot taller than me. He must be. I mean, when I'm doing the scene with him, I'm looking up at him. You know,
Big lad.
He's a nice, intelligent kid, really good kid. Yeah, they're just people who are doing their job that they love doing. They really like doing it, and they're successful at it, which helps.
What was that like when Nicholson as well? Sorry, mate. What was that like with?
Yeah, it was all right. I mean, I've said it before.
I met him in Stringfield.
I don't want to keep on about him. He was an older man, and we just didn't get on. We didn't.
Did you know? Did you not get along?
It's a shame because I was looking really forward to working with him, and I would say some really horrible things about him. But you know what? You ain't going to get on with everyone all the time. Of course you're not. So at the end of the day, yes, it's fine.
Yeah.
I ain't going to lose no sleep over him.
Yeah. I take it you haven't worked with him again in the last 10 years or so, or has your paths crossed?
No. It's a terrible thing.
Yeah. But just when you're working with the likes of DiCaprio and so on, does the subject of West Ham ever come up? Do you ever invited them to London to watch a game?
No, I haven't. I've had a couple of faces I've worked with who have come over West Ham, given the pie and mash and the jelly devils.
Yeah, brilliant.
Faces, a little bit, but yeah, the best one was I took Tamara over there. Tamara was
of course, yeah, for the couple of nights with him as well,
our enemy. Yeah, the enemy.
I know.
I took him over there and they were all screaming and shouting at Tamara because I was laughing. And someone shouted at me, well, you got him over here for that Millwall, I'm giving it all that.
Yeah.
I said, what are you talking about, mate? He's a waiter.
Yeah, do you still keep touch with Tamar? He's a good boy, isn't he?
Yeah, I see Tamar. Talk to Tamar a lot of times, yeah.
Yeah, he's a good lad. He's a good lad. I've been out with a few, in his company a few times, shall we say.
Yeah. He's good stuff.
He's good.
Good stuff.
We need to talk about the gentleman because it's...
Yeah, don't talk about the ending. I've not finished it yet.
No?
I'm watching it.
No, I've not started it, so don't talk about the start.
Aye, he's in it.
But a lot of people, when they heard that you were coming on this, so you need to ask, is there going to be a season 2? You probably aren't in a position to talk about it, or maybe you are. I don't know. Well,
I don't really know. I mean, there's talk about it, but I haven't been approached to do a number 2. I'm not sure anyone else has yet. They are talking about it. I know that's happening, but I don't have any idea. I think he's probably down to Guy. Guy's got a lot of irons in the fire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's a busy boy, and if he wants to do it, he'll do it. But then again, you got to get the cast together as well. If they're, if
got to be a good script as well, yeah.
Not doing anything else. You got to wait for them and all this and that, and we'll see. I hope so. I really enjoyed doing it.
Yeah.
What was it like working with Theo James? I mean, he's been
lovely because most of my stuff was with him. Kai, they were good. They were good stuff. Yeah.
He's been tipped as the next James Bond potentially. I've been seeing. I think it would be a good fit.
I'll be James Bond before him.
Yeah, 007.5.
I'll be Brook Bond. Yeah, Brook Bond.
Yeah.
Mind you, everybody seems to get linked with the next James Bond, but so it would be good for him if it was him. But was he good fun to act alongside Anna?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, they're pros, and they'd been doing it a little while before I got on board, So I think I started in episode 3, but they've been around, They know their stuff. These kids, and there's a lot more of them today, so they've got to be good. Because if they're not good, there's someone else going to take their place.
Yeah.
So they're really on the ball. Their work ethic is probably 100 times more than mine was when I started. Because we didn't have the competition,
Yeah.
You just turn up and you do your stuff. And then you learn on the job. Today, they know their stuff. They hit the ground running,
Yeah. And Vinnie Jones as well?
Yeah, Vincenzo's in it. Yeah. He's in it. That's good. I actually enjoyed the part he played in this. He could show a little bit more of what he's capable of doing. Rather, before he was good at doing what he done.
Yeah.
But playing that part, with a bit more emotions and things like that for him was fabulous. Actually,
He looks so comfortable because he's got a farm down there anyway, hasn't he? So he looks so comfortable.
Yeah, but the emotional side of it,
yeah, of course.
You don't usually get a chance to show, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, that's when it becomes difficult when you know, as a trained actor, you know, which we're not. Me and Vinnie, we're not trained actors. We trained ourselves. We trained through working with great directors. So in that way, you know, for Vinnie to actually get that part and pull that off the way he did was phenomenal. Actually, really good.
Good boy. He's a good boy as well, Ray.
He's always good to go, isn't it?
I had a game of golf with him. He's a good lad.
You told me you used to roast him. No, you used to turn him inside out.
Him and John Fashanu, he couldn't stop laughing. You know, John's one of these. John Fashanu is one of these guys that he knows all the sensors in your body. You know the senses. He can touch you. I don't know what it's called, but he can touch your neck and you can just drop. And I'm saying to him, John, show me how to do that. And he's going, no, I can't. I'm saying, show me how to do it. He's going, no. And Vinny's going, you want to drop a keeper? I said, yeah, I know.
Just that corner kick.
A corner kick.
He was as old as nails and all, wasn't he?
Yeah, was that?
He was as old as nails as well, wasn't he?
Fash was. I went in a tackle with Vinny and Fash, and the three of us end up on the ground. And you know, I seen my life flash before me, but they were good boys. They just started laughing. They couldn't believe this jocks in amongst them, which was good. I got away with it, so it was good.
Am I right in saying, I think I read again that your favourite director was Gary Oldman? And
I mean, literally from an actor's point of view, I mean, because him being such a wonderful actor, you know, and for me, it was a tremendous director because you understand the process of what we go through to actually play a character, you know, and it just pressed the right buttons for me, you know. I mean, I've worked with some terrific directors like Darren Aronofsky, he's another one, you know, and Spielberg and all those people. But for me, purely because of the talent he is as an actor and also, you know, what he's learned as a director, I'd have to put Gary there,
brilliant.
I just watched Slow Horses only fairly recently, and he's just out of this world in that. Absolutely.
Yeah, no, he's phenomenal, mate. He really is, yeah. Him and Daniel Day-Lewis two are top of their game, mate. They really are, you know.
Have you worked with Dan Lewis? Have you worked with him?
With who?
Daniel Day-Lewis. Did you work with him?
No, I never. No, I actually played football with him at Queen's Park Rangers. We were over there playing a game, and we were on the same side. We were both centre forwards. We had two up front, me and him, right? Yeah. And the ball came through, and he was just in front of me, going to get the ball, and I had him over, boss. Fuck him out of the way, and I followed him.
Just do what you done with me. Leave it, son. Leave it. Brilliant.
But he's another kid who's blind in this. He'll write a letter to you. You know, if you've done something, and he'll write a little letter or send a message to you saying how much he liked it and things like that. You know?
Well, you've done that to me. Can you remember doing that to me?
Eh?
Can you remember years ago you done that to me? I went bankrupt and you phoned me up.
I was going to ask this. I was going to ask this because it's something Frank opened up on in the Football Icons documentary series recently. Not documentary, documentary series.
It was a documentary
on BBC Scotland, and he spoke in glowing terms about yourself, Ray, and how you phoned Frank up when he was during his darkest time.
I know you phoned me up and you says, you know, it's not. Don't worry about going bankrupt because you says I've been bankrupt twice, and it made me laugh. And you says it's not how you go in, it's how you come out the other end. And it really cheered me up.
You do, and you work. What it does, it gives you that incentive to get out. You've got two ways of doing it. You give up, you put your hands up, you surrender, or you go to work.
Yeah,
and you know we both went to work, and that's the way you do it. That's why you deal with it. In fact, now it's all scrubbed off my record. I ain't bankrupt. I've never been bankrupt because I worked it back.
Yeah,
you know.
Good.
And that's what you do.
Yeah.
You know, they can't hang you for it.
No.
They'd like to. But
yeah. I know a few people that would like to hang me.
Well, as long as you don't come on this podcast, that could get messy. Yeah. So you're in Sicily at the moment, and clearly you can tell in the background, sun's shining, living the best life at the moment, Ray.
It's like it would be if there was. I hadn't got fucking stung by a wasp.
So how long you been there now?
Well, I've been coming to Sicily about 30 years, Frank. But literally been staying in this place here for about the last 12, 14 years.
Jesus. Oh, it's a long time. You still get your box at West Ham?
No, you're having a laugh. They want 300 grand.
You're joking.
They want 300 grand of your money. This is the last I heard, anyway.
Yeah.
For 3 years. You give them. So it ain't just for 1 year, it's for 3 years. So they got 300 grand of your money for 3 years, and you ain't even seen a game yet. I don't think so, mate.
No, I don't think so.
We could afford 300 grand, couldn't we?
Yeah, we could find a lot to do with that.
Yeah. We could buy Tony Cotty for 300 grand.
He's over 65. He's got to set up the goals with the concessions, you know.
I would think somebody will get you into the box.
Aye.
Yeah, it'll be a good. I need to come down. Do you go much? Do you go down to London? Need to hook up?
Yeah, of course I do. I mean, I still live in Essex, you know. Yeah. And I'll go over there and I see, Tara over there is a good girl. She always looks after us. Well, I've got a couple of mates who are over there got tickets, so I'll go over with them.
Yeah.
They're very accommodating. You know, we want to go over there because I do one or two things for West Ham anyway.
Yeah.
Little things and that, just because it's my club.
I know, mate. I know. But I've got to meet you.
I ain't the punter. I'm a fan.
I know.
But when I'm away, if I'm on the other side of the world in Australia, and I pick up the paper and I read the West Ham result, it reminds me about where I come from.
Yeah.
But the result is about where I'm from. You know.
Yeah.
And that's the most important thing. Because we know we're going to pick the paper up when we got beat.
And we're not going to spend 50 million in a striker.
I've got to say though, you're looking $1 million. It's possibly because I haven't seen you in your most recent role. The clean shaven look was a surprise to me because I'm used to the kind of Bet365 adverts and so on, and you kind of menacing.
Don't
forget to spend responsibly.
About January, I was feeling really rough, not feeling too good. And I went to see my doctor and I got told I had type 2 diabetes. Oh. Right? So there's sugar and all that kind of stuff, too much sugar in it. And I got to go on these stents, these tablets. And I went, I ain't fucking taking that tablets. I said, what's my options? He said, well, you change your lifestyle. And I changed my lifestyle. I stopped boozing for about 4 or 5 months, which, to my surprise, was the easiest thing I've ever done in my life. I stopped smoking a year before that, and I started looking on packets at sugar, the levels of it, and I cut it all out. Within 3 months, I didn't have sugar type 2 anymore, and that changed everything. It was a game changer. I lost 2.5 stone in weight. I put on 4 pounds since I've been out here, because you just do it.
But the food's so nice.
And I have the odd beer now and then and a bottle of wine if I'm having a bit of dinner somewhere, But you change your lifestyle, and I feel as fit as a bush dog. I might even make a comeback.
Oh, fantastic! And you're off the cigarettes. I noticed the wee vape going in the. I've noticed the vape going in the back.
Yeah. Oh, you froze.
Cut off. Oh, you're back.
You got
I lost you then, sorry.
You got the vape there.
Yeah, so that's a lot better for you than the cigarettes, I'm told.
Vapes.
Yeah, well, that's now and then. When I'm talking to, I only do that when I'm talking to Frank.
Yeah, I drive people that way. Yeah.
Well, Frank, you look fit as a butcher's dog as well.
I just lost nearly 2 stone. Yeah, I've just lost it.
Yeah. Yeah.
£2 going for a bus. Yeah.
No, but you don't.
Yeah,
You look a million.
I don't drink. But I hardly drink now, Ray. When I go out, I can still drink. But then it takes me too long to recover. It takes me a couple of days to recover. I used to drink for 2 days and get over it in one. Now I drink for one and get over it. It takes me 3 days to get over it. So.
And also, Ray, we're delighted to hear that I had him on the five-a-side pitch the other night. He came along and played with myself, my boy, and my nephews and their pals, and he's still got it. He remembered what boots to put in the right feet and all.
I know. I've still got it now to tie my laces and all that.
Aye. No, it was a couple of flashes.
We just started playing all of a sudden. That, all you hear is, that is him. And a couple of boys with Rangers tops on appeared.
Oh, it was a cast of thousands looking into the pitch. It was
They're all
great.
going, that is him. So you had to run a wee bit.
Aye, I think I heard you jarred your knee at one point. I was a bit worried. I was a wee bit worried. You okay?
Yeah, that's all right. I'm all right.
You still managed.
Go through it.
Still managed to play your 10 games of golf a week.
Yes, I'm playing a lot of golf now, Ray, which is keeping me healthy. I never never played golf.
We got a golf day coming up in September.
Is that for TC and Gailey? No.
Yeah, with Ollie and all the boys. I think Rory's coming to play. And
Where's that? Down there.
I'll send you all the bumps.
Brilliant, save it too. I'll come down. That'd be good. That'd be nice.
Come and have a game of golf with us all.
Brilliant.
We've got a big day there.
Yeah, we're good.
You're laser fixed whenever someone mentions a game of golf. Honestly, it was just like he's just strolls through the podcast, and then you mention a game of golf. He's like, right, when's that?
When's that? Yeah, I like it.
I'm the worst golfer in the world. I am the worst golfer. I swear.
Do you remember we were playing? This is true. We're playing Ray Stewart's testimonial, and I don't play golf. And Ray, I was working that night, but Ray's marking the card, and I said to Ray, I've got to go. It was so slow. 16 holes, so I've left. All of a sudden, I was second. So I said to Ray, I says, why, how come I ended up second? He says, somebody must have been a bigger fucking cheat than me. Sam Law, thanks very much. The second place. Only played 16 holes. Brilliant.
I'm just mindful of our time. I'm prolonging it for a minute or two because I know we're going to have to take out that bit about Lou Macari.
Bollocks to him.
So just to finish off, so what you got lined up, Ray? You get a busy time ahead the rest of the year?
No, it's been a bit slow. To be honest with you, it's because we had a strike, SAG strike, all that, writer strike, and all that. Everything kind of built up. So we've got things to do, but we can't do them yet. So it's just a matter of kind of riding it out at the moment, and and enjoy the sun, while we can.
Not a bad place to ride it out, sitting in Sicily, is it?
Absolutely right. Yeah, 100%.
Just keep an eye out for the wasps and keep taking the antihistamine.
Can't take a boy to East London.
I got stung in the eye last year. One landed on my glasses, and I see it, and I went like that, and it stung me in the eyeball. And my eyeball came up. It did look lovely going down the pub.
Yeah, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? That'd be nice. And family all right?
Family all good. I've got at the moment I've got Elaine here, and I've got two of my grandsons and James. Jamie's coming out next week because she's working. Yeah. And then my little Ellie's coming out with her fella. And then after that, Lois, my oldest girl's coming out with her fella. So, yeah, we'll kind of be...
Camel's asking for them.
Yeah, I will do, Frank, yeah.
Yeah, did it.
I will, certainly will.
Is it quite lively where you live? Have you got sort of bars and restaurants?
I'm on top of the mountain, out of the way. I'm up here. There's a little town down the road which is nice, about 8 minutes drive. And that's nice people there. Brilliant. I know a lot of the families there because I know their kids at home. Mm-hmm. So I know the families there. So they're all good. They're all good people. So we look down and just in the distance you see the Mediterranean. It's beautiful.
Brilliant.
And
great life.
And the grandsons, I take it they're West Ham fans, are they?
Yeah, it does me.
Yeah.
They are now. Yeah. It's funny in COVID. I got a lockdown here in COVID, which ain't, I can think of worse places to be.
Oh my God, yeah. Of course.
But I've got all these West Ham masks sent over, the West Ham ones, blue and blue. And I gave them everyone in town, so the whole town was walking about with West Ham COVID masks on.
Brilliant. Just feel at home.
Yeah.
They'll be starting a West Ham supporters club next.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you know, we went to Mauritius for the World Cup in South Africa. I went with all the boys. Galley came and and Les Strong. We were all out there, Mm-hmm. And on top of the mountain, as we were coming from the airport going over the top, I went, pull the bus up. Stop the bus. There's a West Ham supporters club in Mauritius. That's where we were staying. In Mauritius, of all places. So we all got our photo done there, didn't we? Yeah, it was closed, obviously. but yeah, you go all the way to Mauritius and there's a West Ham Sports Club. Not Not Liverpool, not Man United, none of that, mob. West Ham.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Superb.
There's only one other club in the world that you would find that way.
Oh, I know. There's only the other one is Celtic's got it all over the place. It's got it everywhere.
Yet to find a town or city anywhere on the planet that doesn't have a Celtic bar.
It's incredible, isn't it? Really.
It's great.
Well, look, time's caught up with us.
Caught up with us, Ray.
Ray, thank you very much indeed for taking
Thanks,
the time.
Paul.
Come and
Now, listen, Frankie, love you to death. All right.
Cheers, mate. Appreciate that, Ray.
I'm so pleased to see you looking so well and all.
Yeah, cheers, pal.
You're both looking brilliant, I have to say. But I love
Keep
it.
punching, son. Keep punching.
Keep punching, yeah. Punching again. My missus wants to meet you. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But
Give it my love.
I will do, pal. Take care.
Thanks a lot. All the best, Ray. Cheers.
Cheers,
Thank
mate.
you very much. Enjoyed it.